Hey FlossTube, it's Jules, or I'm Jules. It is August, it's actually August 9th. Normally it would be Thursday where I do my weekly video, but I am hoping I have plans tomorrow morning, and so that put a little bit of a kink into the video plans. Normally I get up and then once my husband leaves for work, I'll do my video and then I'll let it process and upload, and it takes a while, so I'll go off and do other things and whatnot. And but tomorrow, I'm hoping that a friend of mine and I are going to meet at the original pancake house for some pancakes. And so I'm hoping that that works out. I didn't want to be rushed. I didn't want to have to do the video when I got back because I probably are like so full, and that wouldn't look good either. So it's like early afternoon. I'm home for lunch for just a little bit, and I thought, let me see if I can't get this video out. I'm still gonna release it tomorrow, but I am just recording it on Wednesday instead. So one last night of stitching to show you, but that's okay. There is plenty to show you. First thing, t-shirt. Stretch less, cross stitch more. That's a good motto for life, I think. But I wanted to go back and talk briefly about Gecko Rouge that I talked about in the last video, and I sort of mistakenly, I think, led some people to believe that the way that they order their pages, the way that they number their pages would force me to stitch in a way that, you know, I don't necessarily want to. And I explained how they wanted me to start like in the center. Of course, everybody wants you to start in the center, right? But I don't. I always start in the upper left. And the way they number their horizontal lines is actually, it's not like a negative. It actually, if it starts, like if this is 0, and then if this is the right side for me, so if it's like, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever, over here, it also goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, like that. Not necessarily a negative number, but just it counts it out. So it's really not a big deal. It just was different when I looked at it, and then I think when I first looked at it, it confused me, and so then I kind of relayed that to you guys in an inaccurate way. So I apologize for that if that puts you off at all about the Gecko Rouge UK cross-stitching designer website. Boy, are they great. And I haven't started anything yet. I had some comments about ways that I could organize that particular pattern, and I am going to get the little floss bags for that because there's so much of some different colors. I think I'm actually just going to use a project bag and then just put all my, there's not a ton of different colors, so I'll just put, the floss bags are coming sometime today. It might be what's in this box that I just picked up from outside, but, and when they come, I'll organize those particular projects, and I don't know if I'm going to start them right away, but it's definitely something that I'm going to organize soon. So, went to the L&S stitching shop, a stitching shop, which is my L&S, on Saturday with my husband. And we had gone over to pick up a variety of different things. Mostly what I was going over to pick up was just the fabric for some different things. And I think I picked up like 3 or 4 pieces of fabric. I'm still waiting on one project to come in, and I'll tell you guys about that when I get that back. But while I was there, interestingly enough, while I was there and came in, my husband came in with me, and we sat down and we were talking with Christine, who owns and runs the shop, and we were sort of sitting there talking, and she's like, well, I got everything, everything's ready, so, if you, feel free to go and shop if you like. And I'm like, oh no, I got too much to do at home. I can't possibly take on anything else. I can't go out looking. I just can't. And so she's like, oh, okay, well, that's just, usually you shop. And I'm like, I know, and that's what gets me into trouble. So we got up, and we were walking out of the shop, and I'm just what is that over there? And there was a trunk show going on, and I'll tell you the name of the designer when I get to it, probably next week. But I don't remember the name of the designer. Hadn't seen her, I think it was her stuff before, but it was a lot of really cool pieces. Totally caught my eye, and I was just like, I was just looking at them. And then my husband came over, and I was like, this one's really funny. Look at that one. And he looks at it for like a second, and then he's like, can you do this one for my parents? And I said, yes. And I said, in which case, I'm going to do this one for my mom after I finished the current one I'm working on for her. So I actually ended up picking out 2 new pieces, and so I was just like, Christine, can you guys just get everything ready for me, and then we'll get it back, and you know, I'll pick it up in a week or 2 whenever that last project comes in. It's no big deal. So I was like, oh man, but thankfully they're not very big and they won't take long to do. So, but that's what happens. That's why I try not to go to the LNS as much as I could, just because I would always buy something while I'm there. Oh, speaking of the parental units, Chuck, your son has sent something to you from Amazon. My husband's parents love to watch. My mom does too, but my father-in-law likes to watch him, and he's getting something in the mail from his son, and so he should expect that anytime. And we hope you enjoy it, and hope that you can get some use out of it. So we'll see. All right. So my whips. Boy, I was crazy this week. I was all over the place with doing this project and that project, and you know, I was a little, I didn't get as much done last week because I was like, oh, I'm taking Friday afternoon off, and you know, I did something to my hip last week, and it's like a hip flexor irritation and whatnot, and I had a massage for it. I went to the chiropractor. I mean, I was in a lot of discomfort with it, and I stretched it out. I was doing different things, and I just kept aggravating it, and I wasn't sure what was going on because nothing was really helping. And finally I stopped and Googled some stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I should ice that spot. That seems like where the pain is. And so I iced it last night, and an instantaneous improvement. And what stinks is that it's in the front part of my hip, so when I sit down to cross stitch, it actually, like, bending my knees, it actually hurts. That's what actually hurts. So there were some days where I couldn't sit and cross stitch just because it was just so uncomfortable. But I still got a fair bit done. Let me start by showing you the prayer of Saint Francis, right? Prayer of Saint Francis? Prayer, yeah, I think so. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's the piece I'm doing for my mom, and I got a little bit more done. And once again, my problem with this particular piece this week was in that I found a mistake partway through again, had to take out a word, do it over again. So, but not doing terribly a lot of this at a time. Again, just because it's a little difficult because the stitching is small and the linen is small, so it slows me down just a wee tad. But that's a pretty good amount. I hope to get, you know, there's like a little. I think there's like a little dot kind of across here, and then the next part down here is more wording. And I think I'm almost to the halfway point down here. So yeah, I mean, if I just sit there and actually just focus on it, focus on it for a little bit, I can get a lot more done of that. Let's go to Ronnie Rowe next, which I've got a fair bit done on the Ronnie Rowe. Ronnie Rowe. And so if you can remember, I did all of this, and then I can see through this. That's why I'm able to do this without seemingly looking like I'm looking. And then I got all this done right here. So I only have a little bit more to do down here in order to finish this page and be officially halfway done. But, oh, and this is Market Square Tavern. I actually finally looked at the name on the cross stitch pages, on the pattern pages, and it's Market Square Tavern. So that's awesome. So one more time. Pretty sweet. I love it. There we go. All right. I got some kind of dog hair, surprisingly, in my mouth. All right, I'm going to show you more of the Stormtrooper piece. Did not get as far, but I did work on it. I think that Thursday after that last video, I did work on it for like 2 or 3 hours. It just seems like it takes forever. So I just got this far done, and if you can see, I actually got quite a bit of the white done down here. So. Or the white finished. The white done down here, or the white finished down here. But anyway, so, yeah, I'm making progress. It's just, you know, it's just slow going, again, because I just choose to do like 5 million projects at the same time. And let us show Renee Waterloo Place. Got more done on this one. I can't see through that. But definitely got a chunk done a couple hundred stitches here, a couple hundred stitches over here. I'm like 2/3 of the way through the page, so that's awesome. But yeah, let me just step back so you guys can see it. I love this thing. It's so pretty. It's going to get prettier and prettier every time I finish a page with this. So, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to actually do Old World Map 2 next. And I did get to work on this, and I did get more done on it. And definitely got a noticeable chunk done this week, which was good. So here it is. Wait, let me pull it out here. All right, there it is. And so you'll notice that, like, I got basically all the yellow stuff and the lettering of the words done on that part too. So you can see it a lot better. It's making a lot more sense, and it's just getting easier to stitch. I'm not sure if it's a combination of just I'm doing a better job of organizing, or if the gridding is helping more and more on it, and it's probably both. But I'm pleased with that. I made some good progress with that this week. And then the other project that I stitched on that I can remember, because there may be something else upstairs. Everything is kind of a jumble right now. Still haven't gotten anything organized. Pretty much went and organized the rest of the house this weekend and left the stitchy corner in the bedroom. I stitched, but I didn't hardly do any organization. But one of the pieces of fabric that I got at the LNS was the one for the Saturday Evening Post football piece. And I told you guys that when I finished Yoda, I wanted to start on this piece because I really, really enjoy it. Football season is upon us. And I had already started stitching it, like, I think it was 2 years ago, a year or two. I think it was 2 years ago that I started stitching it. But I was stitching it on 18 count fabric, and I just didn't like the way it felt when I worked on it. I just didn't like it at all. And I also wasn't gridding at that time. So when I got the fabric, I went ahead and gridded it out the other night. And I started working on it, and what little I have done, I did pretty rapidly. So I'm hoping that this piece will actually go pretty quickly. I've got a few pieces of floss that are connected to this piece, but let me show you this. You can hardly see anything, but the border of this piece is going to be in this peach color. It's 3770. And that's going to actually be all around the outside of this entire pattern. So I was filling in a couple hundred stitches here, but this is the beginning of the piece, and that's the T for the Saturday Evening Post. And so you can get a little smidgen of an idea what it will start to look like. But I don't have a picture of it. I try to actually like print out a picture of it, but the pattern is on Etsy, I believe, and it won't let you do that, basically. It's whether it's copyrighted or whatnot, it just won't let you print out an actual picture of it, which is fine. It's a reproduction of the Thanksgiving week edition back in, I think, 1927. So 90 years ago, that was this the cover. And basically what it's like, you know, the Saturday Evening Post, and then there's a picture of like a pilgrim. And then there's a picture of like a football player from the 1920s in sort of the vintage style uniform, and they're just kind of looking at each other. And so it's kind of like, you know, Thanksgiving versus football, what really matters, or something like that. But I love it. I just really, really love it. So I'm going to absolutely be stitching on this quite a bit because I enjoy doing it, and I have already stitched this first page before. And I know that it could go pretty fast, and especially with gridding on this. Oh, let me show you, because the great thing about having it gridded, I know you guys know this when you probably all grid, but the great thing about this thing is that there is so much of this peach color that comes down and then comes out around, and it really kind of moves into the pattern a lot more. And my problem when I did it the first time on the 18 count was I got off a couple times on my count, and so as I was starting to do the color or the actual picture, that was getting off, so I would have to frog a bunch and then start over. And this way I can actually fill this peach in wherever I want to, but I can still work on the pattern because I know exactly, because I gridded, I know exactly where to go. So you guys know what I'm talking about. It's super awesome. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I think that's it. Let me double check here real quick. I got my notes. Yeah. So Plans. When I asked last week if you guys wanted me to start one particular project, I had somebody that jumped out. I apologize. I should have wrote down who it was, but I didn't plan this video out as well as I normally do. And somebody was like, please do the God Save the Queen cross stitch. And I picked up the fabric for that on Saturday, and I basically need to start that, but I couldn't find my first color that I needed was 3021, and I couldn't find. I was like, why don't I have this? I have this color, and I was looking and looking and looking, and I didn't find it until I think last night. And so I'm gonna start on this project because it won't take me very long. But let me show you what it looks like again. God save the Queen. I don't remember how the song goes, but anyway, that's pretty. Isn't that pretty? So yeah, so I just got to start on that. Pretty happy about that. So, I mean, plans for this week is basically, we do need to get some organization done in the stitchy room, and I think that because we've got a lot of other things done, we can focus on that this week. And, you know, I just want to keep working on everything that I have. You know, it's just mostly just trying to continue to make progress. I want to focus on Old World Map 2. I want to finish that chunk where I'm at now and then move below that to where sort of the sky part is and get a lot of that done. I just want to make some considerable progress on that one. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep working on everything. I'm going to start the God Save the Queen and just keep doing my rotations. I should be able to start the next page on the Ronnie Rowe piece. I should, you know, be over halfway by the next video and be all the way back on the far left side to start page 3 there. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I'll have the extra projects from a stitching shop yet. If they come in and we're able to get over there in time before they close on Saturday, then I'll have it for the next video, and if not, then I'll probably have it for the video after that. So anyway, I got to be finishing this video up so I can get back to work. And but like I said, you guys are going to see this on Thursday, but I'll upload it later today, and then I'll have it ready to go first thing in the morning. So have a great rest of your stitchy week. Have great stitching. Enjoy your projects, and I will see you next time. Take care.